Hi, this is Wishop, and this is your card reading for the July 19th full moon in Capricorn. I tried to do this reading a few days ago, and the cards were so squirrely, I couldn't get a straight answer out of them. Really, on any reading, it was sort of like the equivalent of going to a kids movie and seeing it end in a hail of bullets and bloodshed. Everything was so over the top ridiculous that I knew that the cards were just kind of laughing at me until I gave up. So I gave up and I came back around. And now this is the day before the full moon, but the moon is in Capricorn. So things have kind of firmed up a little bit, gotten a little more concrete. I did a reading of this particular style that I'm doing for all of us, but I did a personal reading of this style earlier today, and the messages were pretty coherent. So, so I'm going to hope for the best, and we'll see what happens. So, what I have are the Brownies Oracle, which I'm layering up with a tarot card and with a Lenormand card, and you'll see how that looks when it's done. I think it's kind of interesting. So, we'll see how it goes. All right, so here in the center is basically our current situation, sort of a snapshot of where we're at. Temptation. And then we'll just pull this down, pull this up. Interesting. Okay, so here's temptation, King of Swords, and the Lenormand card, which I'm now sliding underneath so you can see it, is woman. So let me hold this up so you can see this better. This is the King of Swords in reverse, who in this deck looks a lot like Henry VIII. He's red-headed, he's got the sword, he looks belligerent. In this deck, he doesn't look like nearly as calm and bloodless a figure as he looks in some of the other decks. This one definitely has more of a blood pressure problem. And I would say here where we have woman, temptation, and the King of Swords, we have a situation where it could be with a significant other or with a woman in your life that there is a temptation to lose your cool. So whoever it is you're dealing with, it could be that you're the woman dealing with the King of Swords, in which case somebody may be showing a short fuse with you, or showing sort of a harshness in judgment or a harshness in words, or it may be that you're the one feeling sort of out of sorts. You might be feeling like the reverse King of Swords. These aren't real... because it's a general reading, they don't need to be gender specific. We just need to think about the energies. The woman's energy is the Venus energy. So it's love and money, and it's about things that you value. And I think where the temptation is, and let me actually let you see this card a little better too. See, we've got this like this toy store, and the brownies are all lined up outside the door, and they're being lured by the shiny things in the toy store. So where Venus, which is now in Leo, has to do with issues like love and money, there may be a temptation to be immoderate. There might be a temptation to lose your cool. And it could be that you are upset with someone else's values, that you feel their values are not reflecting a heart center, that they're representing more of a consumerism or a status seeking or a judgmentalism or some sort of intellectual superiority, that in some way you're feeling like there's this separation, like the brownies behind the glass, from what is wanted and the object that's being wanted, and it's creating discord. So let's say you yourself are both the woman and the King of Swords. Then you're having discord between what you deeply really want and perhaps what is commercially viable, what is available in the stores, so to speak. Like, what is a mercantile concern that you have? And because the king is a more yang type energy, and it's more about what you command, it's not just about what you own, it's about what you're using, what you're extending out into the world. This king exerts his message, exerts his sword, exerts his command, his intellectual prowess, his decisiveness and property. So this is the kind of thing where you may have a little bit of a schism here. The moon is in Capricorn, so our emotions are trying to get concrete, like what do I really want and what do I want to work on? And the sun is in Leo, which is this very good energy for these new ventures that so many people are starting. And with Venus in Leo and Mercury in Leo, where they're shifting now. If they're not already there, they'll be there in the next couple days. And they're supporting the communication of these new ideas, of these bold new ideas, and the communication of value. So I think this is sort of an issue to make peace with that, that while Leo can be a status conscious kind of sign, and Leo can look for what's shiny and what's bold and what's brash and what is show-offy, the best of Leo does that from a genuine enthusiasm, a heart-centered enthusiasm for what the lion really wants. So as you're defining your new direction, you do have opportunities to just keep refocusing on the heart center. I know that as soon as you start creating those lists of to-dos and you see how many things, maybe how many steps are between you and your final dream, if you want to think of it, or you and some point where you feel like I'm getting there, that you can start to lose your attachment or your sense of enthusiasm, or feel like you need to make compromises in order to be more fiscally responsible, to please other people with your message, that kind of thing. Anyway, this is going to be about negotiating those challenges. And actually the moon in Cancer and all of this good stuff in Leo should help you do that, to find that nice ground. So let's look at what to avoid, which is over here, sort of the anti-advice. And then here's the advice for the direction that we can aim towards. So what to avoid? Here's retreat. I'll get these all slid around. Give me just a second. Lily. 8 of Wands. Okay. So let me get these arranged so you can see them. So here's Lily. You can see this is also associated with the moon. Retreat. Obviously, we've got all these little brownie characters. I hope I'm holding this so it focuses. Oh, now it's just totally glary. Anyway, these little characters running basically away. They're running away. Okay. And here is the 8 of Wands, which is typically a card of swiftness and speed and messages and this kind of thing. So having this in reverse and having retreat and Lily tends to tell me, okay, what we're trying to avoid is turning tail and running, because Lily, if it's retreat in the house of the Lily, then there can be a sense of serenity that is feeling threatened. The 8 of Wands in reverse could suggest that too, that you feel like things are going too fast and you're feeling threatened by that. Things have started unfolding and you're kind of losing your poise. So the Lily here and retreat says, okay, don't, again, this is a somewhat repeat message from a couple weeks ago, but don't give up. Don't give up your dream. Don't give up your heart. Try not to go all the way backwards. Lily can be a card of things that have taken a long time to develop, slow developments, things that have grown over time. So don't retreat back into the old way of doing things just because you're having this balance issue. It's tough to figure out new things. And certainly don't turn tail and run. And don't feel like you have to be forced into a quick decision. You are not going to be the King of Swords overnight. But the fact that it's in reverse says you can get there. You can get there. You just kind of need to work through this negotiation with yourself and with your own set of goals. And possibly if you're collaborating with other people and that's what this reflects, then working out on this temptation, right? This looks like selling out, doesn't it? Like try to avoid the temptation to sell out and try to negotiate that balance between your head and your heart, because it is possible, but you might not get it right exactly the first time out. And that's okay, because it's about learning. It's about getting better, and you don't do it without experimenting and sometimes failing. So let me flip these cards for what we're going to. Let's see if I can do this. I love this. I'm so happy to see it. I didn't expect it, but I'm really happy to see it. So this card, actually, let me hold this up. Do you see this? This is called Plenty. And they have a giant plate of sugar. And here's a guy with like, they sort of look like life preservers, but in this context, I think of them like donuts. What do they say on them? Oh, they don't say anything. But anyway, so there's this big plate of sugar and they're digging in with a spoon. So this is like sweetness and enough for everybody, which is great. That's exactly the kind of thing that we want. And, oh, here we go. Child. Okay, let me hold this up so you can see this. Child, which is fifth house, which is actually the house of Leo. Okay, and here is Six of Swords. Okay, so let me turn it upright so you can see too. So Six of Swords, which is a traditional card, if I can get the glare off it, of transition. So it's a card of moving away from things. In this card, unusually, we can actually see the woman and child in the misty boat, but this is in reverse. So what are we moving towards? We are moving towards having success with this new beginning, right? We are moving away, if you will, from the idea of leaving this behind, right? The idea of Six of Swords would be sort of, if this were an advice card, Six of Swords upright would tell you, get out, maybe you made the wrong decision, think about, getting away from this, think about transitioning out of it, think about moving away. But the Six of Swords is in reverse. So as advice, it says, stick where you're at. There will be plenty. You will work this out. This is a child. It's a very promising new beginning, but it's only a beginning. So it's important for all of us that we just kind of work it out as we go. So I hope that's at all helpful to you. I hope that you enjoy the full moon in Capricorn. I'm feeling better about things already. So anyway, whatever it is you decide to do and whatever new paths you're negotiating, by all means, rock on with your bad selves.